So this is a female pig, and so we can see her ovary right here. It looks very analogous to the testis, but a little bit smaller, so it's a little bean. But next to this little bean, you see a couple different kinds of squigglies. I see little squigglies, and I see big squigglies. Okay, not very technical, but let me tell you the technical part of it. The little squigglies would be the oviduct, or we would call it the fallopian tubes. And so those are terms you could use there. And they're going to lead to the bigger squiggles. The bigger squiggles are actually part of the uterus on the pig. We don't have the big squiggles. Those are called uterine horns. They're for parking places for multiple births. And so there's essentially just a way to have a litter by having these horns. So what I'll see is that I actually have the horns from each side come together, and you can see I'm pulling up, and where they join together, that's beginning to form what I would call the body of the uterus, the main part, not the branches. Okay, so the uterine horns form like arms on a Y, and then I have where they come together, that's the body of the uterus. Now the body of the uterus, if I want to expose things a little bit better here, let's cut through some of the connective tissues. See what I can come up with here. Body of the uterus comes in here. Let me get a better picture for you, Chet. So this is where those two arms are coming together. I've just pulled it through a little bit underneath, different angle, and it becomes a tube behind the urethra. So here's the urethra right here coming out of the urinary bladder, but behind it is this other piece of tubing. That's the vagina. The vagina and the urethra merge together and form something called a urogenital sinus. We humans do not have that. Our tubes stay separated and have two separate orifices for exiting the body. The female pig does not. The female pig actually has, and hers was cut through just a little bit, she has a urogenital orifice, but hers is underneath her tail. Remember, the male's is near the umbilical cord, the female's is out her tail. And the female actually has a little bump that sits outside of that. That is a papilla on the outside. That's how come when you were asking me, do I have a male or a female, and I'd lift up the tail and I would say, does she have that bump or not? That little bump is a genital papilla, and that's an identifier for a female. It's meant to stimulate the male. So you can kind of see that again. Let's do it real quickly. We have ovary. Little squiggles are the oviducts. The big squiggles, uterine horn, that lead to the uterine body right here. Uterine body, when I trace it down through the tissues here, becomes a vagina behind the urethra, and then the vagina and urethra join together and they come out surrounded by that papilla, if I want to say it that way. So there you go. That's it.